You know it's okay not to be best in slot, right? Roll it. Welcome back. And like I said in the intro, it's okay if you are not best in slot. This video is part 1 of a new series. I'm calling, if it wasn't obvious already, it's okay if you're not best in slot. And we will be talking about Helms in this particular video, and is directed towards newer or mid-game players who are not, as I said a few seconds ago, in quotations, best in slot. Anyways, just throwing this out there, and it might come to a surprise to some of you, but not everybody plays Neverwinter all day. Yeah, I know, right? What are they thinking? Pfft, what's this having an actual life nonsense? I'd rather be locked in my mother's basement eating Twinkies and drinking Mountain Dew until my butt crack has no more crack left for even sweat to dwell in. You're being sarcastic, Galactic. Wait, what? Me? Sarcastic? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm the nicest person I know. What I just said actually reminds me of something my father used to say to me. May he rest in peace. I used to see confirmation from him about myself all the time, and I would sometimes ask him, Dad, I'm a nice guy, right? My dad would smile huge, look right into my eyes, and say very convincingly, Yes, you are, Dimitri. When you are sleeping, you are extremely nice. Like, what was my dad trying to tell me? That I was an asshat? Maybe. Always made me laugh when he said that to me. Not sure why I shared that, just like I'm not sure why I'm talking to myself from a third-person perspective. I guess my point is, with no sarcasm involved this time, is that not everyone has the will or the time to grind out the best in slot gear in the game. They just don't. So don't be surprised someone doesn't have the gear you think they should have. Their time is not your time. So in this video, I will show you the best Helm gear and the budget Helm gear, or easier to obtain gear that isn't best in slot, but does the job well enough for you to do your daily grind until you can afford or get the better gear. Let us begin. Helms. Let's pop them all up on the video one by one. We have the Helm of the Skyblazer, the Whisper's Hood of Quiet, the Forest Guardian Raid Coif, the Divine Raid Helm, Nightshade's Raid Hat, the Broken Cap of the Omnipotent, the Trapper of the Twilight's Hood, Hat of the Cowardly, Mermaid's Soup Bowl, Protege Hood, Kron's Hood, or Crone's Hood, Fancy Duelist Mask of the Cormier, and the Garistro Horns. You can consider this one, and you can consider this one, and this one, and this one, and this one in the best in slot category due to the bonuses they give you. And you can consider this one, and 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 this one, not in the best in slot category. So the ones with the green check mark are best in slot bonus wise, and the red check marks are the not so best in slot. Now let's see where you can get all these helms from. Skyblazer from the tier 3 hunt in Avernus called Nightspine. Whisper's Hood of Quiet, the same, Nightspine. The Forest Guardian Raid Coif from the endgame Vault of Stars dungeon. The Protege Hood from the Seals vendor, but this doesn't exist in game anymore. They removed it from the Seals vendor, but it will be returning in the future. And since it doesn't exist now and no way for you to get it if you haven't got it already, I will remove this from the equation with a huge X. And the Garistro Horns, which come from tier 1 hunts in Avernus called Whitehorn. The Nightshade comes from the Avernus campaign store after gathering materials from the Infernal Citadel. The Divine Raid Helm can be purchased from the Forge in the Bleeding Citadel for 10k favors. The Broken Cap comes from Master Expeditions in the Undermountain. The Trapper Hoods of Twilight also from Master Expeditions. The Hat of the Cowardly also from Master Expeditions. Merm's Soup Bowl also from Master Expeditions. The Crone's Hood from the Seal vendor with Seals of the Fallen. And the Fancy Duelist Mask of the Cormier from Juma Bags in Valenhas. So in terms of difficulty or grind, the hardest helm pieces to acquire is the Skyblazer's Helm and the Whisper's Hood of Quiet, since they both come from an extremely difficult hunt to create or even complete. Their tier 3 Nightspine hunt to be exact. And the Forest Guardian Raid Coif is difficult too, since it comes from Vault of the Stars, and not everybody can get in there, let alone complete. The Nightshade Hat can also be hard to get as well, since you might not be Infernal Citadel ready. And the Divine Raid Helm can be difficult if you don't know or want to farm 10,000 favors in Avernus. But none of these are game-breaking helm pieces. The Whisper's Hood of Quiet is the only one I would actually consider best in slot or decent enough to be used, so maybe giving you a reason to farm that tier 3 hunt. The rest, not so much. But I'm assuming you are not quite there yet and you are part of the newer players. There are easier options to help you sooner rather than later. The easier helms to acquire are the broken cap of the omnipotent, the trapper hood of the twilight, the hat of the cowardly, the mermaid's bowl, which all come from your daily expeditions in the Undermountain. Also, the crone's hood is extremely easy to get with the seals of the fallen, and the fancy duelist mask of the Cormier from Juma bags and Valenhas is also pretty easy to get. Luckily for you, the helms have one particular headpiece that is better than the rest of them, and is very easy to acquire compared to the others, and that's the Garistro horns, which is a budget helm and a best-in-slot helm all rolled into one. All you need is basically 10 to 20 white horn hunts to be almost 100% certain that you will get a drop. Sometimes it takes more, but it's usually 1 per 10. Even with 20 or 30 hunts, it's much easier than the Nightspine, and this is what you want to be aiming for regardless, the Garistro horns. And as you're looking at all these helms on your screen right now, notice the bonuses. The best ones are always the ones that provide your character with some sort of percentage bonus, like a percentage to crit, power, some other stat, or damage. Those would be what you aim for. The helms that give you stats like 5,000 power or whatever else are secondary, but that also depends on your character and what you are missing. Also, there are other factors like how much time you can spare the game to grind and to farm any of these items. All I know is it's okay not to be best in slot. It really is. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. What matters most is if you are having fun. And of course, if you enjoy being a better player, your goal should be to get the best in slot gear and not settle for less. All I'm saying is you could do just fine and thrive in this game without being best in slot. You simply can. Anyways, hope this video helped, and in part 2 of the series, I will talk about your chest armor. Galactic here, peace out, stay safe.